Who better than me?
Welcome back to yet another episode of the Hardcore Casual with your boy, Base the Kid. I guess this is actually a bit of a cause for celebration. The channel's officially over 100 subscribers. Last time I checked, it was like 104. Could have gone up a bit more since then. But I want to thank the new subscribers for obviously subscribing, checking out the vids. Whether you watch 30 seconds, 30 minutes, or anywhere in between, I appreciate it. Every view counts, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure a couple of the new ones came from seeing my my rather impressive display on Monday Night Smoke a couple of days ago. You know, come out of retirement, I thought, you know, I don't like the way the scene's looking. Needed some excitement. Needed some of that old school blood back in there. Just needed a bit more savagery from myself. I was always a bit humble, you know, like let people get their work off and then counter their points bit by bit. But started noticing some of these man got a lot to say but ain't really saying much. So then taking up time, I'm like, nah, do you know what? Long for that. Let me say what I gotta say. Get that quick KO. Get out of here. Because, you know, I've been getting a couple dodgy draws on the scorecards when clearly I was up. You know, it's a Craig Richards, Chad Sugden type situation. So rather than coasting and then letting people have the chance to rob man on the scorecards, boy, you just got to do what you do. Put them down, no argument, no discussion. And I still took it easy on a couple people, you know, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, seriously, in all seriousness, thanks for the support. And everyone else, like I said, anyone else, just like, subscribe, you know, join, check out the videos. If you disagree with what I'm saying, put it down in the comments. I'll respond back to you. We can have a dialogue, innit? But everything I say is genuine and authentic from me. Like, I'm not pushing anyone else's agendas or narratives. It's just all what I've got to say, innit? But yeah, it's going to be a short one. There's a few bits and pieces going on this week. So the first thing I guess to talk about real quick was the pay-per-view numbers for Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. I say they're running about sort of 190,000. Now, to be fair, I mean, it's not a great number, but done better than the Charlo doubleheader did last year. It did better than, what was that, than the Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola pay-per-view. So, you know, I mean, if rumor is to be believed, the Tank Davis and Mario Barrios one, where they said it was like 215, but then they said it outperformed the previous one they had, which I think was supposed to be 235. Which clearly means that one of them was lying somewhere. So that one supposedly was actually closer to like 180,000. So it might have even outperformed that. All while actually only being exclusive on ESPN Plus in America. Now, a lot of boxing fans over there have never had to go to ESPN Plus to subscribe and then get the pay-per-views that way. So some of them might have rebelled against it. Some of them may not have. May have had it already. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I feel like while the numbers weren't great, they weren't too bad. But there's always room for improvement. Let's see what Terence does moving forward. Whether he decides to jump on another streaming app or maybe do one fight deals on the ESPN or go like Fox pay-per-view next time or Showtime pay-per-view. You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe even joined Boxer wholeheartedly in the UK and starts fighting from over here, just like Clarissa Shields is going to be doing. I mean, he's got the MTK connections of Pro Bellum. You never know. But yeah, cool. Nothing special. What else have we got to talk about? You had Tank Davis the other day was saying, why is everyone just talking about him not fighting the top guys when none of the other top guys are fighting each other? I guess kind of it's valid. tiny, like the tiny percentage you could say, yeah, it's a valid opinion because no one's fighting the top guys. But when you check it, I mean, Teo fought Loma. Yeah, okay, maybe he's not giving him the rematch, but he fought him. So that's two top guys there. You've got, no, I'm not even putting Ryan in there, but you got Haney. I mean, Haney's fought Linares, who's pretty much been in there with a who's who of the best guys. Only really got himself beat up at 140, which is never his natural weight to begin with. And now you got Haney fighting Jojo Diaz, who beat the guy that Tank was running from at 130. And he's already a two-weight champion at featherweight and super featherweight. So him coming up to lightweight, that's a very credible challenge. You'd have to put him maybe in the top 6, top 7. Isaac Cruz, I don't know, I think he's supposed to be ranked top 10. I'm not sure, but all right. It's not a terrible opponent, but Rolly Romero was. And ultimately, even if the other guys aren't facing the top people, that no one was chatting about them. They was chatting about you. Like, let's not go on to all the deflection tactics or the whataboutisms. Like, at the end of the day, like, they asked you, like, why are you not fighting them? Why are you not calling out their names and making these fights happen? And realistically, you've got less of an excuse than the other man then, because what? Haney's, 23? Lopez is 23, 24. Okay, Ryan is 22. Even Jojo's he's 25, 26. Like, you're pushing 27, so you're not in the young category no more. You're like in the experience category, so you're a bigger man to these guys. So you should be setting pace. So why are you worried about what 22-year-olds are doing when you're like 27? Like, you can't really be watching the babies, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're a big man, be a big man. Like, take them tests. But cool. What else is there? Oh, there's a couple cards this weekend. I guess I'll talk about that quickly. Now, there's obviously the card on Friday, which isn't getting a lot of love because it's coming from Mexico. But it's Erica Cruz is fighting on that card. I know the lady's surname. What's the lady's first name? One sec. Erica Cruz. Is she fighting the lady Hernandez? Let's see, box rec real quick. So I've had to start using my phone. The brain name, Erica. Who's she? Melissa Esquivel. That's it. Yeah. So that fight card actually should be fairly enjoyable. I mean, like I said, it's coming out of Mexico, so you know it's going to be bare doghouse scraps in there. That's Friday night on DAZN, so that should definitely be worth a watch. I'm going to be checking out that card. And then obviously you got the Lopez Jr. Cambosos fight card on Saturday. Now, I'm not going to bother do any predictions for this weekend. I only really do them for like the big stuff. But I do think both of those cards are going to be highly entertaining. You got Zhilei Zhang back for the heavyweights after that rather torrid fight he had with Jerry Forrest, where he put man down like 3 times in the first 4 rounds or whatever it was, or the first 3 rounds. No, it was the first 4. It was 3 in the first 4, and then he just got beat for the last 5 rounds, and it ended up being a draw, and then he ended up in hospital with some kind of blood condition or whatnot. So it'd be good to see him on there. For Zhilei against is it Ochigawa? Ogawa? Forgotten how to pronounce the guy's name, but yeah, I think it's for Zhilei against Ogawa. That fight there, I'm actually expecting to be quite a good, intense fight as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's pretty much it, to be honest. Like, it wasn't really going to be a big video. It wasn't a huge amount for me to talk about that I was interested in talking about anyway. I guess while I'm here, let me check, see if there's any other boxing. Oh, well, Chris Eubank Jr. So that's official that Liam Williams has pulled out of the fight injured. So we await to see what what kind of opponent he's going to get moving forward. I mean, I can't lie, his career has become a bit of a shambles. Like, I don't really know where he goes from here. Does he stay on the card? Does the card stay on at all? Because it's in Cardiff. So who's getting Cardiff to watch Eubank Jr. against someone who's not from Wales? And they definitely ain't getting for Clarissa Shields and Emma Cozen. Savannah Marshall's already off the card. Like, it's not looking great. I can see that whole thing getting scrapped. But I mean, I don't envy them people there at Sky right about now. It's not looking great for them. Let me go check boxing news real quick just to see if there's anything there that either I've forgotten or that I feel like is worth talking about. Probably won't be for me, because if I'm honest, there's a couple films I want to watch tonight. That Bruise just come out on Netflix, the MMA film with Halle Berry. I want to see that. True story, Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes. So yeah. Okay, I guess that's one I could maybe talk about. Otto Wallin. I haven't watched the interview on IFL yet, but he said that he's happy that the WBC didn't order the mandatory against Dillian White. Now, as much as funny as that might be, like, that is really sort of that jilted lover type mentality. Like, you didn't have a shot to begin with. Like, you were a voluntary to an interim. Like, you weren't mandated, you weren't ranked. Like, you were picked out of a list. So realistically, if you were picked out of a list, that means they thought you was the easiest target they could have chosen out of the list that they had, or the maybe like a tougher test, but like the most money out of a hard run. So with all that being said, it's like, you can't really be that annoyed by it. You were given the opportunity didn't pan out. Like, Eddie said he's gonna, try and find something for you moving forward. Realistically, you could have stayed on the card. You could have actually made money. You could have fought Babich. You could have fought anyone that you're supposed to be miles better than and collected an easy paycheck. But you didn't. Complained about losing all this money for training camp, and the money still lost. You ain't made no extra money back. So even though you're there smiling, like, you're smiling at a deficit. It is what it is, man. Like, I ain't got nothing against Otto though. I like Otto, so I wish him all the best. Fury wants Usyk next for all the belts. Yeah, whatever. Okay. I had Terence Crawford surpasses Errol Spence for number 1 position in the ring rankings at 147. He's also surpassed him on BoxRec as well. So, the rightful order is restored. Just got to wait for Spence to take that fight, or for Crawford to get the Ugas fight, or whatever happens next. Like, Spence said he's coming back. He's got a big one in March. Well, the big one's definitely not going to be Ugas if he's got to fight Butayev, or was it Butayev he was supposed to fight? No, Jamal James fought Butayev. He's supposed to fight. Okay, so I got the phone in my hand. Let me double check that one real quick. Ugas next fight. That's it, Stanionis. Imanta Stanionis. So he's supposed to fight him next. So chances are it's not going to be the Errol Spence fight for him. So who can Errol fight in March? That's a quote unquote big fight, bearing in mind of what PBC do. Who have they got at 140? Because they like to bring people up the weights. I don't think they got anyone at 140 that they can really put him in with. I mean, Keith Thurman's a part-time fighter now. He definitely ain't going to be ready in 3 months. No, it's slim pickings on that side right about now. The walls really are kind of closing in on Spence still. Like, there's not really much places to go unless you move up. But if you move up, people are instantly going to say right now you're ducking, even more than they're saying it after the way man walked out of the arena last weekend. But yeah, let me just check boxing news again real quick to see if there's anything else. Like I said, I want to keep this one short. Eddie Hearn has written to the WBA and WBO to order Jamal Charlo versus Demi. Okay, that has to be a typo, because why would he be writing to the WBA when Jamal Charlo holds the WBC belt? Oh, okay, they've made a mistake because they've put here WBC, WBO. Okay, cool. Furman, I'm still at the top of the welterweight division. Yeah, whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's nothing else really for me to say, to be honest. Oh, okay. Eddie Reynoso, David Benavidez hasn't achieved what people think. I mean, that's kind of true. Yeah, he's a two-time super middleweight champion, but lost the belt twice on the scales. But I want to check. Let me check something real quick, because I had this thought in my head a little earlier. I want to just make sure it's the right thing, because I don't want to speak out of turn and discredit man. But David Benavidez, let's see. Right, so he won the belt against Anthony Durrell. Wait. No. Hold on. Okay, so he won the belt the first time in the vacant title against Ronald Graville. Then he rematched Graville, beat him. Then he lost the belt on the... He lost the belt on the J. Leon Love fight, I think. For the... Wait, no. I'm trying to work out the timeline here. Alright, so Ronald Graville was the vacant. Then he rematched him. Then he lost the belt, I think, after that for the cocaine issue. J. Leon Love was his next fight. Then he fought Anthony Durrell, who was the champion at the time. Beat Durrell. Then, so in his 2 reigns as champion, he's actually only defended the belt once. So, for the amount people talking about David Benavidez, like, Reynoso's kind of right. Like, the evidence don't really stack up. Yeah, on an eye test, you could say man's kind of big and strong and whatnot, but the names ain't really there. Like, Ronald Graville ain't a name to be shouting from the rooftops, to be fair. Anthony Durrell's a good fighter, but, you know, he ain't elite. Obviously, Roman Gulo, well, you know, that was just for him to win. Ronald Ellis, and it took him 11 rounds to get him out of there. Kyron Davis, 7 rounds. Like, definitely, I mean, look, I rate the fact that he's probably the only one at the PBC who's prepared to go through the other fights. Like, he's calling for the other fights prior to the Canelo fight to say, look, I deserve the shot, so I give him that. But yeah, I had to double check that. But man, he's had the belt twice and only had 1 defense in that whole time. So 1 defense in 5 years, 4.5, 5 years. Like, you ain't, you know, that's, you know, the maths ain't mathing, as man like Lineal would say. Like, shout out. But yeah, look, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. Leave the comments down in the section below. Like I said, I'll respond. I'm gonna go watch my films and then I'll respond back afterwards. But for right now, thanks for watching. As again, like, subscribe, share this with another friend, get me a couple more subscribers. I'm seeing if I can get to, like, we've got 5 days left of the month, 6 days. Let me see if I can get myself to about 120, 125 by December. Let's see where we go to and just keep building on that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Blue Bar is strong. Hardcore Casual out.